Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and on this episode of Tips and Techniques, I'm going to walk you through how to make pizza dough. So the dough we're going to make today is my go-to pizza dough. It's really fantastic for wood-fired ovens or gas-powered pizza ovens, but it'll even work on your grill or your oven, or you can even stick it into a skillet for a pan pizza. It's pretty versatile, but it does stretch nice and thin. I know there's a whole world of pizza doughs out there. This is kind of the middle of the road. This is where I go to first. Now there's really two things that are gonna make your pizza dough come out great, and that's the quality of the ingredients and then the techniques used during the mixing and shaping process. So we're gonna start off with some of those quality ingredients, and it's really simple. Flour, water, salt, and yeast. We're using a high quality flour, double aught, so it has a high gluten content, stretches thin really well. We've got some quality salt to really make that flavor pop. I've cooked this recipe for a few years now. I've tweaked the levels. I like the flavors and I know that they're gonna be good where they are. So that means we're just counting on the quality to come through and then getting the process done correctly. Now for the yeast, we're using a dry active yeast, which means that we need to activate that yeast to get it really going. So I'm shooting for a water temperature of about 110 degrees. We're just short of that right now. So you wanna use that instant read thermometer to check the water temperature, and then we're gonna scale it by weight. And we're scaling 325 grams of our warm water. Next, we're gonna add 5 grams of our yeast. And the reason we're doing this by weight is because weight is so much more accurate as far as scaling goes. And you wanna create the same results every time, something that's repeatable. So that's why we're gonna do this by weight rather than volume. I will throw out some volumes for you in the recipe in the link down below, just in case you don't have a scale. But honestly, if you don't already have a kitchen scale, go out and get one. This is a great tool to have on hand. You can pick one of these up for 35 bucks at allthingsbbq.com. I use mine all the time. You can see immediately we're getting some foam around that yeast, and that's what we're looking for to really wake that up. So we're just gonna make sure that's entirely moistened, and I'm gonna set this aside for about 5 minutes to foam up a little bit more. All right, so we've kind of given that yeast the opportunity to like jumpstart, get started on the process. And now that we've done that, we can add our flour. So we've got that double aught flour I was telling you about. We're gonna go 500 grams of double aught flour. Put this right on top of the water. And then we've got our Jacobsen's kosher sea salt. We're gonna do 10 grams of that. Now, salt can kind of hinder the process of the yeast getting the rising going. So that's why we give the yeast a little head start and we don't add our salt right away. All right, so that's it. All 4 ingredients scaled right into the bowl. We're going with the dough hook attachment on the KitchenAid mixer. Just gonna go on second speed here. Should take this about 60 seconds to form into a dough ball, at which time we're gonna set a timer for 8 minutes to let it knead the dough. So when that clumps together and it's clearing the sides, that's when I set my timer for 8 minutes. Time is up. You can see how that was kind of just flopping around in there. It's kneading the dough during that entire 8-minute process. We got a nice ball all accumulated here on the hook. Should slide off there pretty easy though. At this point, we need to transfer that dough ball to an oiled container. Now you can use a bowl if you don't have a larger Cambro container like this. I just like this, especially for the purpose of shooting these videos, that we can actually see when it's doubled in size because of the marks here. But again, you could just do this in a bowl in your kitchen. Just make sure you got a thin layer of oil in there. All right, so we're just gonna throw a lid on there. We leave that in a warm place. So I like to leave mine near the stove if I'm trying to get this done in any kind of timely manner. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. The cooler the temperature in the room or in the spot where the dough is proofing, the longer it's gonna take for it to double in size. So if you're trying to get it done a little bit quicker, just put it in a warm spot like this. You can see here we've got some dough that's already doubled, that's been sitting out for about an hour and a half now. So this is ready to be broken down into individual dough balls for the pizza. All right, so we're just gonna flour the surface here before we turn out our dough. Kind of help this move out a little bit. It is going to deflate as you turn it out, and that's totally fine. But I like to try and keep it in the shape that it came out with because it's easier to decide how to divide this. So I'm gonna hit it with a little bit more flour on top, And then this I'm just gonna turn into 2 pieces, which makes this nice and easy. We cut it right down the middle. All right, so we're gonna turn this into a dough ball at this point. All I'm gonna do is gather all of this dough and start to turn it and push that dough underneath. And once we've kind of gathered that in the center, I'm gonna move some of this flour out of the way. One of these dough scrapers can be one of your best tools when you're doing this sort of work. And then you're gonna find yourself a little bit of a tacky surface so that you can start to roll this ball around. So I'm just gonna rock this around, kind of pulling and twisting at the same time until I've got a nice tight surface on the top there. I might just pinch the bottom just to help it close up there on the bottom. And then we'll transfer that to an oiled sheet pan. Again, just a little bit of oil to prevent any sticking. And we're gonna cover this once we get our second ball formed. So again, we're just kind of gathering it in the center, forming that ball shape, and then we'll get it down on our work surface and start to tighten that ball up. Pushing and pulling until we have a nice, tight, smooth surface on top. Little pinch on the bottom and to the sheet pan. And I'll use the plastic wrap just to make sure that we don't get any skin on the surface that's gonna kind of tear weird later. Now those dough balls need at least 30 minutes to rest. We need the gluten to relax so that we can shape these out into our pizza skins without anything tearing. But you can also leave it in there for hours, even overnight if you've got a cold enough refrigerator, or you could go ahead and wrap these individually in plastic wrap and throw them in the freezer for future use. All right, well here we are fully rested now. These things have chilled out a bit and they're ready to be stretched into pizza dough. So we're gonna hit the surface with some flour once again, just to make sure that this all moves pretty well. There's really no right or wrong way to shape your pizza dough, but what I like to do is I'll kind of press around a border to give me that crust. And then you can kind of start to work this out by hand. You can stretch it on the surface, or if you're more comfortable with this, a lot of times what I like to do is just pick it up and let gravity do the work. So again, just kind of working around the outside. I can see I'm gonna have a little trouble spot from where my seam was, so I'm just gonna fold this over to make sure it's the same thickness as the rest of everything else, and we'll continue to stretch. So once I get some length on this, a lot of times I like to go ahead and put that on top of my hands, just gently pulling on top of the knuckles. If you'd like to toss it up in the air, you know, that's fun. You can roll this out with a rolling pin. I'm not gonna tell you guys the right or wrong way to do this. This is just how I like to do my dough. The whole idea though is that by the end of this, you should be seeing light through the dough. Should be nice and thin and roughly in the shape of a circle. So that 1/2 of the dough that we made is gonna make a nice 12-inch pizza or so. And from here, the sky's the limit. You could do anything you want to with your toppings. Be sure to tune in next week as we make a chicken pesto pizza using our pizza dough and cooking it out on the rock box. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to attbbq.com/thesauce. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.